this is a complete and utter path of destruction that the truck has left in here. I mean, this is rough. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and yeah, I've got some kind of bad news, but then also good news. So the bad news is the truck looks exactly the same as it did last night. I mean, there was a little bit of melting, and it's easier to see kind of now. But yeah, I mean, looking under here, still completely covered. So that hypothesis, still not sure on that. But we're gonna get it checked out by Ford now. That light just randomly turned off because I guess it's timed. But yeah, we're gonna get it checked out by Ford, and just to prove that the truck is exactly the same as it was last night. The little kayak is in the same position, and I would assume if the rear end raised, then that would raise a little bit, and then it would be touching it, but it's not. So we're gonna have Ford look at it and see what they think, and I would laugh like really hard if they just told me that I needed to melt all the ice off my truck, but I kind of have a feeling now that it's going to be a little bit more than that. The light, it burns! Well, my thermometer says 31 degrees, which that's the temperature of the garage, so I'm not exactly sure how I was gonna melt any ice on that truck, and it was even colder last night. Yeah, it's not much, but it's honest work. That's like my go-to meme, and I think that's like my go-to thing for just everything in life right now. And also, by the way, we're not heading straight to the Ford dealership. We're going to another dealership first, then we're going to Ford. I haven't decided if I'm gonna film at the other dealership other than a review, so if I do, I'll see you guys at the other dealership. If not, then we'll go to Ford. This one is the Turbulence Gray, or the Ice Gray Metallic. That one is the Renaissance Red, and seeing this in person, I like what the red looks like, but I think that this gray looks better, just how it shows the body lines and all that. Obviously, I prefer black typically, but yeah, it's good. All the fake vents and everything, definitely a cool little touch. Well, John Miller needs to go to the showroom. Anyways, yeah, I think just the front end too, just all of it. The red looks neat, but yeah, the gray definitely a lot nicer, and both these have the same interior. It's just the black interior on it, which is fine. That's pretty much what I would want for the car. But yeah, I want you guys to let me know if you think I should get this one or the red one. Well, I actually have some good news for once, and the good news is the Ford dealership actually just had someone else come in, and it was the same exact thing that I'm having, and it was ice that was weighing down their truck. So my hypothesis was actually pretty much correct. What they said is I just need to put my truck in a super warm environment, obviously melt off all the ice. So I'm gonna see if I can find a garage or something that I can put it in over the night that's like 70, 80 degrees, and just so I can get all that ice melted off. And then I guess I'll have to give you guys an update tomorrow. So this video is now gonna go over a couple of days, but I'll give you guys an update tomorrow on how the truck is. But how it stands now is we don't need to fully get inspected. We're first gonna get all of the ice off the truck, and then after the ice gets melted off, we'll see if the truck goes back up to where it was before. Doug has graciously let me leave the truck in here so that we can hopefully get the ice off of it. And I did forget to mention this. I broke the fog light. I don't know when it happened. I'm guessing it happened when I hit this one jump that was massive, but yeah, it's completely gone. So at some point, I'm just gonna remove these because I didn't end up using them as much as I thought I would. And you can see they're full of condensation as well. And pretty much my fault because I didn't seal the lights, and I jump the Raptor all the time. But the ice is already starting to kind of melt. Like you can see, stuff like this is popping off. The other side we actually used, well, I shouldn't say we, I should say Doug used a little hammer and got a ton of stuff off from down here. So yeah, I mean, you can see how much it's dripping. There is just so much coverage. And so hopefully all of that will be off, and the back of the truck will be back in a normal place. Well, it is the next morning, and well, we've got more of this. So the Raptor's probably going to freeze up again and be even worse, but we have to first see if it's even like fixed. So we're gonna go see the Raptor, and hopefully everything is fixed, and we'll hopefully make it there in one piece because roads are looking kind of nasty. Now I'm not exactly sure if I'm gonna make it there in one piece. Looking a little bit rough today. I mean, the truck will do fine, but just have to see what happens here. This is why I like waking up at like 9, 10 o'clock and then slowly getting out into the world at like 12, because There's so much traffic in Utah at this time. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see, but it just continues literally for miles in front of us. And yeah, all these people are going to work. Work sucks. Well, we are finally here, and I gotta climb over all this snow, but this is gonna be the moment of truth. This is a complete and utter path of destruction that the truck has left in here. I mean, this is rough, but looks like my hypothesis was correct. So pretty much everything melted off. The truck's just really dirty right now. And yep, it is back to normal height in the back. Well, pretty much. So not quite 100%, but what it was before is the front end was just like slightly higher than the back end. But now the back end is again, well, higher than the front end. But we do have to drive this on the highway to get back home, and so we're gonna see if it keeps doing like the bumpy thing in the back end. Yeah, the truck's really dirty. So this is another really weird side note, but my Raptor feels taller. Like, I can actually feel the difference between what it felt like when it was sagging in the back to now. Like, I can actually like physically feel the difference. Like, the Raptor definitely feels like it is taller than it was before. This is the moment of truth. If I actually make this light or not. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make the light. Okay, we're good. Here is the moment of truth. We are going onto the interstate, and by the way, I can't floor it because I forgot to put it in 4-wheel drive. So we're going. We're at 50. So I'm gonna let go a little bit. It's still vibrating a little bit. Like, yeah, there's still a little bit of vibration. So it's not vibrating as bad as it used to, but it's still vibrating. So I'm guessing there's still like obviously mud and stuff that's stuck in the suspension to an extent, and that's causing some issues. But it's not vibrating as bad, and it's vibrating at higher speeds now. So like, it used to vibrate at 50 miles an hour, whereas 50 miles an hour, it's just very, very slight. And now it's vibrating at about the same rate as it was at 50 at 65. So we're doing a lot better. And yeah, I don't have anything else to say so far, but it looks like it definitely was the weight that was causing the issues from the ice and the snow. I guess that if you own a Raptor, don't freak out if the suspension sags if it's in the middle of the winter, because it's probably ice getting in the suspension and causing issues. I made it back in one piece, and I tried to get this Raptor on video that drove by me because he had a really cool setup. He had really nice tires and rims, and then he had this cool like sport hood thing going on. It had like nice venting on it, but I didn't get it on video, which was kind of disappointing. Anyways, I don't know if we're gonna have good luck today or bad luck today, because it's already 29 degrees, and so if I get a ton of snow and then it melts again and then it freezes again, just like what happened before, I'm gonna have the same issue again. Kind of sucks to own a Raptor in a place that snows a lot like this. I mean, it's good because the Raptor does so well in the snow, but then I hate the fact that I have to deal with the suspension sagging because the truck has no payload. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, and I forgot, some of you guys in my other video were saying that I was gonna have a lake in the garage because I left the Raptor in the garage before I put it in Doug's place. Well, I mean, I wouldn't call this a lake, but yeah, this was what was kind of left over in the garage, which, I mean, isn't too crazy, but it's something. I think that piece right there is the funniest, just like, well, bam! Just chilling out. But yeah, the Raptor is actually looking pretty good again. And well, I need to go over something very important that has nothing to do with the Raptor, but it's important for the channel. Oh, and before I get into that, I noticed that the lights are still here. I actually told Doug that he could just have them, but maybe he didn't want them because the lights are so, like, they're destroyed. They're completely destroyed. So I don't know, I'll text him about it and see if he just made a mistake, but I'm guessing he just doesn't want the lights because, I mean, I wouldn't want them at this point. They're completely wrecked. Maybe that's my giveaway item. Hey, do you want some destroyed fog lights? Subscribe, destroy it. No, I'm just kidding. But let's actually get into the main topic. And the topic is that I am getting rid of the, no, I'm just kidding. I'm keeping the Raptor. I am like probably at this point only a couple weeks from purchasing another car for the channel. I'm still not 100% on this because I do have the order in for the C8, but there's a problem with my order for the C8. So I gave my specs over to the Chevy dealership because I put a deposit all the way back in, I believe, June or July of last year. I'd have to double check, but it was right when the C8 came out. I think it was June. But yeah, I put my deposit in, but I was 20th in place at that dealership. So I've been waiting. Then they called me up, said, hey, give us your specification, and then we'll put an order in once we get an allocation. Well, I just watched a video from the Chevy dude, and he said that if you don't have your order put in by April something or whatever, I can't remember the exact date, but it's in April, then you don't get a 2020 car. So that means some things for the channel, because I love the Raptor, but I need to have another car just to drive around, because it's been a pain whenever I've gotten any work done on this truck to basically not have anything to drive around, which I know, first world problems hardcore, but there's a lot of stuff that I want to do to the truck that I can't do because I can't have it sitting in the shop for weeks, but it needs to be sitting in the shop for weeks. And so I need to get a car from just like a practical standpoint so I can still film and do all the stuff that I need to do. But then also I need something for the channel to do more content on. And yeah, that's why I need to get another car. But back to the Corvette. The thing about the Corvette is I don't know if I'm going to get one. And if I don't get a 2020, then I'm not going to have I'm going to drop my order and just wait for the Z06 to come out, because at that point I'd rather just wait for something new, because if I got a 2021 C8 that's just a base model, well, not a base model, but a Z51 package, at that point all the content's going to be completely dried up on the car and it doesn't make sense for me to own one. So that's where I'm at. My arm just got so tired, so I'm having to use my right hand, which I hate because I'm left-handed, so I always am used to holding the camera with my left hand. But anyways, I am for sure thinking about having 3 cars on the channel. Now, this is something that I feel like not a lot of other automotive YouTubers discuss. Like, some of them will discuss their like financials, but they don't really discuss like the car financial part of it necessarily. And what I mean by that is, right now with the Ford Raptor, I am spending a very small percentage of my income basically for the modifications on the truck, and then also just keeping the truck up and running, all the stuff that's associated with it. And so I could very comfortably afford a second car for the channel, no problem. Now, if I had 3 cars, that's where things would get a little bit tricky, where I would be spending a larger portion of my income. Now, for me personally, I'm a little bit different than other automotive channels. I don't want to spend more than 15% of my income on vehicle expenses. I really want to be around 10%, which with the Ford Raptor, I am way, way below that. I think I'm only, never mind, I'm not going to discuss that. But anyways, I'm substantially below that. And so if I got a second vehicle, I'd still be below that 10% threshold. If I got a third vehicle, I think that would push me up to like 15% roughly, which obviously is, you know, from like a financial aspect, that's something that people can very like comfortably afford, is 15% of their income into vehicle expenses. But it's not something that I want to do personally. And I know this is something that not a lot of automotive YouTubers discuss. I guess what I'm trying to say is, most automotive channels will spend a large portion of their income on vehicles. It's just not me. I would rather just live really comfortably, invest a ton of my money, and save a ton of my money, which I know isn't as fun for you guys, but then I have all the review videos and all that stuff, so it's not a huge deal. But anyways, I want you guys to leave down in the comment section below what car you think I'm going to be getting between the, I guess before the C8 purchase, because we're like this close, guys. We are that close to pulling the trigger on something. Anyways, that is gonna sum things up for today's video. My left hand's just gone. Like, my arm was shaking so bad with the camera, so we're gonna use my right hand. But if you're stopping for the first time, please subscribe, comment down below what you think, and then I will see all of you in that next video. And also, I will give more updates on the Raptor with the suspension as time goes on, but I'm pretty sure this is like the fix for the suspension, is I just need to get all the weight off of it. But yeah, I'll see ya.